Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Seasonal Tokens Podcast, where Polar interviews people so you can do more investing and less gambling.
So everything sounds very, very interesting and promising to me. I hope that our listeners will think the same way. But what does the future of seasonal tokens look like?
So in the short term, it's going through a crypto winter, a very dark crypto market where basically all the prices are depressed and nobody wants to invest in anything, and everybody is tight on money. Everybody is running out of money, and everything is getting more expensive, and people are worried and they don't really have money to invest in speculative crypto projects. So in the immediate future, what we're going to be doing is just focusing on building and supporting the infrastructure of the tokens and making it easy for people to trade on different platforms and to trade on different blockchains and so on. So that's what's going on in the immediate future. And in the longer term, what we'll do is ultimately, presuming that we get to a big enough size, we can try to make ETFs, which are exchange traded funds. And these are, so it's difficult to get approved for an ETF for cryptocurrency, but there have already been Bitcoin ETFs approved and they're already in existence. And because the tokens are mined using proof of work, just like Bitcoin is, they fall under the same regulatory regime. They're classified as commodities instead of securities. And that means that it will be possible to follow in Bitcoin's footsteps and basically make ETFs the same way that Bitcoin did. We know that the regulators are we know that the problems that the regulators have with cryptocurrencies will already have been addressed when they were approving the Bitcoin ETFs. So that's basically a long-term plan. And what that will do is that will allow institutional investors, and basically everybody who's trading on stock markets like New York Stock Exchange or wherever, to be able to access the tokens and to add them into their portfolios. And that would mean that they can hedge their existing investments, which have some seasonality. For example, if you have an agricultural investment, or if you have, say, an airline investment, or if you have something that does well at certain times of the year, it doesn't do well during certain months, then you can take the seasonal token that's expected to increase in price compared to the others during that time period and add it into your portfolio. And then then the portfolio overall won't be expected to go down in price as much during that period, because despite your main investment or your principal investment being expected to go down, you'll have another component that's expected to go up during that time.
Actually sounds really enthusiastic to me, but do you know what actually will take for seasonal tokens to become an ETF? Like how many people or how big should become?
I think it will really mostly come down to the market cap. So the market cap will have to grow to probably several billions of dollars in order to make that worth doing. But once it's worth doing, it will be very much worth doing.
Yeah, absolutely. If you are able to achieve this, I'm sure that early investors will be more than excited, I would say, and a lot more profitable than in a lot of cryptos that they can invest at the moment. So it sounds like a very bright future. I hope that this will be achieved, and I'm sure that you have the best chances for that. Where can people find more about seasonal tokens?
So they can go to our website. That's seasonaltokens.org. And if they want to, so there's lots of information on the website, but they can on the website there are links to the white paper where they can read the full technical specification of the tokens, and they can also read the audits and the details about the farm, and they can learn about the economics. And if they want to learn more, and if they want to talk to the people who are involved in the project, they can join our Discord. So there's a link to Discord on the top of the website. And there's a great community on Discord, and anybody who wants to really get involved and to learn a lot can join Discord, and you can just watch or you can get involved in the conversation, and you will learn a lot about the tokens.
Okay, I think that it's good for our listeners to know that you are not alone in this project, and there is actually a team with you. And of course, I'm not hiding this, that I'm also part of the team, and I have the honor to be the CMO of the project, something that I think I forgot to mention in the beginning, but that's definitely true. So maybe with a very few words, it would be nice before we finish with the last question to just mention with few sentences about the team that is helping.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have a fantastic team. So one of the first people to join the project was Cheers, and he's worked on lots of projects in the past, and he's the community manager, and he's basically organizing everything on Discord, and is essentially keeping the server running and keeping it working nicely. And he was able to, using his connections and his Discord skills, he was able to bring in a crowd of people using, what was it? It was an invite contest, I think. And we had a large number of people turning up on the server and getting interested in the project. And we got more team members from this. We've had Logitech was one of the first to join after this. And actually, it may have been Logitech who, I can't remember. It may have been Logitech who was involved in the invite contest as well. But after that, when we had a larger crowd of people on the server, then we had happy think. So Haldamer, he's I think his title is community leader, and he's on Discord, and he's been great. He's been able to bring in new people, and he's started new initiatives, and he's been posting on Reddit, and he's actually posted a series of articles on Reddit that have been very good. They've chronicled his experiences and with the project, and it's been interesting to read those, because you can look back at the good times when mining was cheap and was possible and was very profitable. And unfortunately, it's hard to mine now because there's a lot of competition. But so that was Haldamer, and Haldamer brought in or made contact with other people who then joined the team. So there's Trinity, who's also on Discord. She's our investor liaison, and she's our lead tech guru. And we have Mouth, who's one of our Discord experts and who's also a moderator. And we have Helping Hand, and we have I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. We also have Dromacat, who is helping us with videos and with social media and with Twitter and Reddit. And we also have Leo GL, who's some experience in finance, who's helping also with some social media. And we have there are other people who are involved. Robot is involved as well. He's I think not an employee, but he is basically an expert, and he's knowledgeable. He's on the team, and he's helping with all of the technical issues. And I'm afraid I can't remember everybody. We have a lot of people. There's actually a large community. There's thousands of people on Discord, and there are people who contribute a lot. And I hope I haven't missed out anybody important.
Yeah, it sounds like a big team, and I know that from first experience that we are a lot of people, and we all want this project to succeed because it's innovative. I'm sure that people have already understood this by listening to the podcast. So what are your final words to our listeners? Like, what do you want they to know more?
I would say that if the listeners are interested in investing in the tokens, then they should do it slowly over time, because the market cap at the moment is very, very small. The market cap was it was more than $1 million. It may have been $1.5 million at some point, but with the market crash recently, now it's down to probably $400,000, somewhere around that. So that means that if you want to invest $50,000 in the tokens, then you're going to shoot the price of whatever token you buy up by a huge amount, and you'll be paying a lot, and you basically will get a bad deal. But what you can do if you want to spend, for example, that amount, is you can do it slowly over time by maybe $1,000 or less than that, or slightly more, whatever, each day or every few days, and just make small regular purchases. And what will happen is that every time you make a small purchase, you'll change the price a little bit, but then miners are producing tokens and selling tokens every day. So they're going to push the prices back down. If you buy a lot of tokens all at once, then you'll push the price up, but the price won't stay high because miners will produce tokens cheaply the next day, and the price will just drop down again. So it's not a matter of just trying to get lots of people to rush in and buy as many as they can and shoot the price up to the moon. That's going to be bad, because people will be paying a lot for tokens, and then the price will just drop down again afterwards. So the way to invest sensibly is to just do it regularly and do it slowly over time and small amounts. and allow the price to recover after you've made your purchases. So I think that's basically the most important thing for investors to know. I don't want to mislead investors and tell them that this is going to go to the moon immediately, because it's not. It's a long-term project. It's just to cut through one cycle of the seasonal token, the price oscillations. One cycle is 3 years long, and the mining of the tokens is going to be going on for 200 years. So it's a very long-term project, and it's not intended to be something that's going to go to the moon immediately. It's intended to it's a get rich slow scheme instead of a get rich quick scheme. So getting rich slow is reasonable, and that's a feature of investment. If you're investing, then you have to be patient. You can make a profit, but you can't make an instant large quick profit. You have to be patient and you have to put your money somewhere and allow it to grow slowly over time, and that's basically what the tokens are for. So because it's an investment, it's not for people who want to get rich immediately.
Yeah, the other thing sounds more like gambling, right? So
exactly, yeah.
So I think that these were like very surprising words to me, because I have watched many interviews, I have listened to many podcasts, and all the owners of the projects that have been interviewed, like, they have been finishing with invest as much as possible in our project and forget about everybody else. And you're saying something completely different, like educate yourself, like put small amount of money, don't be in rush. I don't think that people expect to hear something like that, because everywhere we have been bombarded with messages like invest everything, you can become rich tomorrow, you don't have to wait, and things like that. And in the next morning you wake up and you are in debt. So I think that you are a very, very wise man, and people should carefully listen the whole podcast, because I think that this is the way to sell your project. Help people to educate themselves. Don't make them put all their hard-earned money and expect to be millionaires in a week or two. Just give them the right expectations and give them the knowledge that they need in order to succeed, and don't overpromise because you're misleading. So I definitely believe it and feel it, and thinking that you're a very wise man, Ron, and it was amazing pleasure for me to have you as a first guest on Seasonal Tokens podcast. I hope that you have enjoyed it too.
I have enjoyed it, and that's very kind of you to say. So thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you very much again. This was all for the first episode of Seasonal Tokens podcast. If you like what you have heard and want to hear more, just subscribe for the podcast and expect the next episode in the next week. So thank you very much. I'm Power, the CMO of Seasonal Tokens, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.